In this video, I'm going to do some 20 MCQ questions from mathematics class 10th. First question says two APs have the same common difference. That is D is same here. And the first term of the first AP is -1 and for the other, the first term is -8. We have to find the difference between their fourth term. So let's say the formula which we are going to apply is clearly for the nth term. We have an is equal to a plus n minus 1d. Let's see if I calculate the fourth term of the first AP, right? So fourth term, that means replaced by 4. A is -1, so -1. This is -1 plus n minus 1d. N is what? N is 4 here, so 4 minus 1, that is 3d. That's the first one. Similarly, if I obtain the fourth term of the other AP, now here A, which is replaced by -8 in this case, and plus the common difference is same here, and n is 4 again, so it's going to be 3d only. That is the second one. So if I find the difference, let's say I use a dash here, that means the difference is going to be what? Their difference is going to be difference, like will be subtracting. So subtraction, that means changing the sign. So what we are getting, -1 plus 8, that should be 7. So we'll say 7 is the answer for this. That is option C in this case. Next question is from the chapter statistics, and a table is given here, and we have to find the model class in this case. Now, as you know that the model class is the class which has the maximum frequency, but here the table is in the format where we cannot find the frequency as of now. So we have to find the frequency, and for that we have to convert the table into, well, the table here is of less than type, and we have to convert this into the normal table, right? So over here, what I'm doing, I'm erasing these values and I'll be modifying the table over here only. So what I can see that from below 10 it is, so I'll be writing 0 to 10. This has 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and 50 to 60. And we are given the cumulative frequency, and we'll be finding the frequency for this. Check here. This is the value. This is for 0 to below 10. So below 10 and 0 to 10 will be same. This is for below 20, right? And below 10 is 3. So between 10 to 20, it will be difference of these two, or you can say difference of these two, which is 9 in this case. Likewise, this is for below 30 and this is below 12. So the difference will give you 20 to 30, which is difference of these two. That comes out to be 15. Likewise, if you find the difference between their consecutive terms, we are getting 30 here. Difference between these two should give you 18, and difference between these two, I'm getting 5. Now check here the one which is having the maximum frequency. As I can see that this has the maximum frequency, and here the class, that is the model class, has to be 30 to 40. 30 to 40 is option C here. In the third question, it says 1, 0 of the polynomial is reciprocal the other, and we have to find the value of k. So what we know that, let's say if I take 1, 0 as alpha and the other as beta, so I can say that alpha is reciprocal the beta. Now if I do cross multiplication, we get alpha plus beta is equal to 1. What we know that product of the 0 is product, this is alpha into beta is nothing but product of the 0 is what? C by A. Right, it is equal to C, and what is C here? C is K and A is 3. So it's going to be C by, that is K by 3. Now equating these two, what we can say from these two, that K over 3 is equal to 1. So by cross multiplication, K comes out to be 3. So we can therefore say that the correct answer for this will be what? Option A, which is K is equal to 3 in this case. The fourth question from the chapter quadratic equation, it says this is a biquadratic equation. As you can see, we'll discuss it. We have to find the type of how many zeros it have, right? How many zeros, how many real zeros are there. Now what I'm going to do is, first of all, if I expand this, applying a plus b whole square, what we are going to get here is square of, right? Square of square. So this is a square plus 1 square is 1. First we write 2ab. 2 times a is this, into b, plus b square, which is 1, minus x square. This is x raised to the power 4, plus simplifying these two will get x square plus 1. Now, as I said, it is a biquadratic polynomial. So therefore, we are going to modify this. Let's say what I'm going to do is I'm going to consider x square as y. So this way, this is what x square whole square, right? From here, so I can write this as y square. This will be replaced with y here plus 1. Check here, this is now a quadratic polynomial. Now let's figure out what we are getting d as. D is what? B square minus 4ac. So I'll be finding d in this case, d which is equal to b square minus 4ac. As you know, the value of d will determine the type of roots. B which is minus 1 here, b is which is 1, so it's b square, that is 1 square, is 1 only, minus 4 times a which is 1 into c which is 1 again. So what we are getting d as 1 minus 4, 1 minus 4, that implies d is minus 3. As you can see, d is less than 0, right? And less than 0 implies that no real root. Let's once again figure out when d is greater than 0, it has real and distinct root. When d is equal to 0, it is real and equal roots. And when d is less than 0, we say that it's a no real root. So C is the correct option in this case. The fifth question from the chapter real number, it says that the LCM of the two-digit composite, what is that? Smallest two-digit composite number and smallest composite number. So if you see the smallest two-digit composite number, what is that? Smallest composite two-digit number is 10, right? 10 is the smallest two-digit number and it's a composite. So it'll be 10 here. Smallest two-digit composite number is 10. And the smallest composite number is what? It is 2. Is it 2? Smallest composite number? 4, right? 2 is the smallest prime number. So this is 4 here. So that means we have to get the LCM of 10 and 4. Well, you may do prime factorization or you can do it verbally as it is an MCQ. So 10 prime factorization is 2 into 2 into 5, or it's 2 into 5. And for 4, it is 2 into 2. So what I'm doing, this is 4 is equal to 2 into 2. So we can say that this is actually 2 square and this is 2 into 5. So the lowest common multiple has to be 2. So we'll say 2 square, which is what? 4. So 4 is the correct answer for this. Right. So if you know finding LCM, this would be a very easy. Just you have to determine which is the smallest composite, two-digit composite number, which is 10, and the smallest composite number, which is 4. Now, question number 8, we are given 4 tan theta is equal to 3, and we have to determine the value of this. Now, what we can figure out that we actually know the value of tan theta as it is 3 over 4, and we have to find these 4 times sine theta over cos theta. Now, as we know that sine theta by cos theta is what? Tan theta. Like, so since we know the value of tan theta, that's what we are going to do. I'm dividing the numerator and denominator by sine. No, this would be cos. So it's going to be 4 sine theta over cos theta. Yeah, I'm dividing this thing by cos. And this is minus cos theta over cos theta. Same in the denominator, dividing this by. So this is 4 times sine theta over cos theta and plus this is cos over cos. Now we can see that here cos and cos get cancelled, cos and cos get cancelled. And what we can do further, we can replace this sine by cos with tan theta. Now let's say if I do so, what we are going to get. This will be 4 times, as I said, it is tan now. So it is 4 times tan theta minus 1. And this is 4 times tan theta plus 1. This is 4 times. What is tan here? I can see that tan theta is nothing but 3 by 4 on transposing 4 to the other side. So this is 4 is 3 by 4. This is 3 by 4 minus 1. Same way, replacing this 4 times 3 by 4 plus 1. This gets reduced here. So in the numerator, we are left with 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1, that is 2, and the denominator 3 plus 1, that is 4. So finally it is half. Half is, yes, the option C is correct in this case. Question number 9 is from application of trigonometry, some application of trigonometry chapter. This says that the top of two poles are of height 14 meter and 20 meter and 40 meter. So let's say if I make the diagram first, two poles. Let's say I took one pole as this be the base, and this is the longer pole. And yeah, this is connected with a wire. Let's say this be the wire here. And we know that we have to make a horizontal. So why not make a horizontal now only? And then we'll continue to read the question. The two poles as it is the smaller one. Let's say if I name it as AB, this pole as CD, the smaller pole which is 14 meter and the bigger one is 20 meter. This is 20, right? So I mean to say the bigger pole is 20 meter. And we can at the same time using the, let's say this is point A, B, C, D, E, right? So I can say this is also 14 meter. Now let's figure out what we are given. That is the angle of elevation. I can see from here that it is 30 degree. And what we have to get is the length of the wire. That means we have to get this length. So from the figure, you can see that 20 minus 14 should give you the length of this. And this will come as how much? 6, am I right? 20 minus 14, it should be 6 meter. Now in this triangle, we are going to apply the trigonometric ratio. I'm talking about this triangle. So here we can apply, let's say, I'm going to apply, what do we have? We have to find the hypotenuse, and we know what? The perpendicular. One more time. Here we know the length of the perpendicular, and we have to get this hypotenuse. So clearly we are going to apply sine. Sine 30 is what? Perpendicular, which is DE here over the hypotenuse AD. Tan 30, replacing the tan 30 with its value, which is half, is equal to DE, which is mentioned 6 over here, and the length of AD is to determine. So by cross multiplication, we get the length of AD as 6 into 2, that is 12 meter. 12 meter is an option, so this is A is correct in this case. Now we have moved to question number 11. In this question, it says PQ is a line which is given parallel to MN. And we have been given the ratio that is KP. I can say this is KP over PM, right? Is given 4:3. Further, the length of KN is mentioned, and how much is KN given? Where is KN? Right. KN. Yeah, I got it. KN. So this is KN, right? And we know the length of this KN. This whole thing is given to us as 20.4 centimeter. We have to get the length of KQ. That means this is what we have to get. That is KQ. Okay, so what I'm going to take this, I'm going to take this as X. So therefore this is going to be this part, right? It should be 20 minus 20.4 minus X. It's not 6, huh? 20.4. Okay, and as you know that we can apply the BPT, and from BPT, what do we get? That KP over PM should be equal to KQ over QN. So I can replace with this with the value which is 4 over 13, which is equal to KQ, that is X, and this is 20.4 minus X. Now with cross multiplication, it is 13 times X, and this is what? 4 into 4, that is 16. Is it? Let's say first write down 16, and 4 into 8, that is 8. And we have one decimal place minus 4x. Now transposing this to the left hand side, it is 17x is equal to 81.6. That implies x is equal to 81.6 divided by 17. Now, is it divisible by 17? That is 816 divided by 17. Let's figure out here. 17. 17 4 times 68. Okay. And we get a remainder as what? We get 13, that is 136. So 136. Yeah, it's divisible. Yeah, 48 times. So we say that x is equal to 48. Now, this is what we had to determine. And where is the option? Ah, there is 4.8, right? 4.8. Yeah, the option A. Right. So option A is correct in this case. In question number 13, as you can see, this is the formula given for calculating the mean by assumed mean method. It should be assumed mean method, FIDI over sigma Fi. For finding the mean data, these are the deviation from A. So what is A they mean to say? So A is what? They are talking about what? A or D? They're talking about midpoint options here. Midpoint of the classes. All right, so xi is the midpoint of the classes. Deviations, these are the deviation from A. All right, that's deviation from A, that's correct. This is xi minus A, which we do for finding the mean, the group data. These are deviation from A. It is true that the deviation from A, but what we have to determine. Okay, I think they mean to say that where do we get this A from? No, cannot be. These are not the probable answer of any of the question. All right, so what we can figure out that here they are talking about the xi, which is that upper limit plus the lower limit. That is the midpoint, right? Upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2, because that is the midpoint of the class. We cannot figure out what is the question here. For finding the mean data, these are deviation from A of. Acha, deviation, right. Deviation is what? Deviation from xi, right? Deviation from xi, and xi is what? That's correct. So the question is correct here that xi is the deviation, and these are deviation here, and these are deviation, and deviation from what? Xi minus A, right? So deviation from A. So xi clearly is the midpoint. Question number 14 from polynomial says the zeros of this quadratic polynomials are equal. So we have D as 0. Let's first write on that part only. So what do you know? D is equal to 0. I'm replacing D with B square minus 4AC is equal to 0. And we have to talk about this sign, right? So determine the sign of this. First thing I'll do is write B square is equal to 4AC. Now, what you can figure out that this is B square, and B square will always be positive, as the square of a number is always be positive. Then 4AC also must be positive, and 4AC, 4 is constant here. That means AC has to be positive. AC has to be positive. And what do we know that the product of two number is positive in two cases, if both of them are positive or both of them are negative, isn't it? Because minus into minus is also positive. So they must have the same sign. They must have the ANC must have the same sign here. Is it ANC? Yeah, it has to be ANC, right? Yeah, that's correct. In question number 15, it said two coins are tossed simultaneously. Probability of getting at most one head. At most means uh, mm, at most one head. That means one head or no head. Let's first make the sample space, as you must be knowing that it can be TT or TH, can be HH and HT. These are the sample space when we two coins are tossed simultaneously. So we say that the number of samples point is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now this is all possible outcomes, right? And we have to figure out the favorable outcomes. Out of this, the favorable outcome will be what? By that means to say that they're talking about at most two head. That means can have two head, at most one head. Why I'm doing so? At most one head. That means can have one head or no head, right? Upper limit is one. These are right. So we can say that here n of e, that is the favorable outcomes is 3. As you know, the probability will be calculated of this event will be say n of e, that is favorable, divided by total possible option, that is this is n of s. Replacing this value, that is 3 over 4. So the probability 3 over 4 is option D in this case. In question number 16, someone is asked to take a number from 1 to 100, okay, and the probability of a prime. Wow. Now, what you have to do is either you have to remember the number of prime, right? So how many primes are there? That is something that you have to either remember or you have to write all the prime numbers to figure out. Well, there are 25 of them. And from 1 to 100, right? Including 1 and including 100, it should be obviously there are 100 numbers. Now the favorable, we have to get the probability same way. So the probability here, that is P of E is equal to favorable is 25 divided by total, which is 100. On reducing, it is 1 over 4. The option B is correct. We have to find the value or values of P in this case. And condition is that these lines representing parallel lines. So what is parallel lines? Parallel lines have no solution. That means A1 upon A2 is equal to B1 upon B2 should not be equal to C1 upon C2. And then we have to determine the value of P. All right. So what is A1 upon A2? I can write 3 over 6 and can be reduced. That is 1 by 2. Should I do it? Okay. Let's say 3 by 6. B1 over B2 on eliminating the sign. Let's write the whole thing. And the C1 upon T is minus 5 over minus P. Okay. So we have to determine P, right? And P can only be extracted from the last. That's from here. So what we can see that on cross multiplication, we are getting P is equal to 5 into 2. That is not equal to 10. So question is what? Okay, P should not be equal to. So all values except 10, right? For this question is what? For a parallel, right? P should not be 10. So condition for this, yeah, P should not be 10. So the options is what? All real number except 10. Find the values of P for which the represented by the following pair of linear equation be parallel. And the condition is of parallel is what? P should not be 10, right? Because if I take P as 10, it becomes infinitely many solutions. So this way the option should be this only. It can take any real values except 10, right? Except 10, it can take any real values. So A is the correct option. In this video, I'm going to do some 20 MCQ questions from mathematics class 10th. First question says two APs have the same common difference. That is D is same here. And the first term of the first AP is -1, and for the other, the first term is -8. We have to find the difference between their fourth term. So let's say the formula which we are going to apply is clearly for the nth term. We have an is equal to a plus n minus 1d. Let's see if I calculate the fourth term of the first AP, right? So fourth term, that means replaced by 4. A is minus 1, so minus 1. This is minus 1 plus n minus 1d. N is what? N is 4 here, so 4 minus 1, that is 3d. That's the first one. Similarly, if I obtain the fourth term of the other AP, now here A, which is replaced by minus 8 in this case, and plus the common difference is same here, and n is 4 again, so it's going to be 3d only. That is the second one. So if I find the difference, let's say I use a dash here, that means the difference is going to be what? The difference is going to be difference, like will be subtracting. So subtraction, that means changing the sign. So what we are getting, minus 1 plus 8, that should be 7. So we'll say 7 is the answer for this. That is option C in this case. Question number 18 from coordinate geometry says the coordinates of a point A on y-axis at a distance of 4 units from y-axis below it. So this is it's easy if you just make a rough sketch of Cartesian plane. The point is it is on the y-axis, and at a distance of 4 units. So below is what this is, right? This should be the point, and the coordinate of this, and any point on the y-axis is in the form of 0 comma y, and y is 4 here, so 0 comma 4 in the negative side, so 0 minus 4 should be the correct option. Question number 19 from assertion reasoning, and the assertion says if the wire of length 22 meter is bent in the shape of a circle, the area enclosed by this is 20. Let's figure out. Let's say if I take a circle and the length of this wire, right? Initially, whatever be its shape, I take this as 22 meter. Now it is in the shape of a circle. So you can say the circumference of the circle is 22 meter, that is given. Now we will obtain R from here, replacing C with the formula 2 pi R. 2 pi R is equal to 22. 2 into 22 over 7 into R is equal to 22. I can see these get cancelled, and R is 7 over 2. Now let's determine its area. Area of a circle is pi R square, and pi is 22 over 7, and R square, R is 7 over 2 into 7 over 2. I can reduce this, and this could also be reduced. Area comes out to be 77 over 2, which is approximately 38, not approximately 38.5 meters square. If it is centimeter, then centimeter square. But over here, the reason assertion is given that 10, so it cannot be 10. So this is wrong. So option D by default has to be when A is false.